What's your relationship with Dana like right now?
Look at Renee getting right into it. I love it.
My sleeves are rolled
Yes,
up.
let's go. My relationship with Dana is, I would say, non-existent. There is no relationship. It was once supremely close and good and healthy, and the kind of relationship that any journalist would want to have with arguably the most powerful person in the sport. Now, I don't interact with him. We don't text. We don't talk on the phone. And what I have often said to people is that doesn't necessarily bother me. Of course, I have tried to have a good relationship with everyone, and that could be tough at times when you're doing this job because people are going to get mad. If you're truly telling it like it is, it's not always going to be positive, but I've really tried to be fair, and I hope that people would recognize that. And so, of course, I would love to have a great relationship still with him, but I will say if he doesn't want to talk to me, if he doesn't want to do interviews, text, all that stuff, I can live with that. The one part that has always made me a little uncomfortable is like, messing with my livelihood. That's a different story. So, interviews, text, all that, all well and good. That's his prerogative. I respect it. You don't want to talk to anyone, you shouldn't talk to them. But when it goes a little too far is when it gets a little personal and a little uncomfortable. And that's always been my issue, but I've really tried my hardest when people are watching me or listening to me speak or reading what I write. I don't want them to ever think that I'm biased, good or bad. I don't want them to think that I have an axe to grind. I don't want to be that guy. And I've really tried. Sometimes it's been difficult, but I've really tried to stay on that, middle ground so that no one thinks, oh, here's Ariel who was wronged by so-and-so, and he's, slinging mud because he's mad at them. That one should have nothing to do with the other, in my opinion.
When that relationship started to disintegrate, were you thinking about it in those terms at that time? Or you're like, oh my God, I should repair this right away because who knows what this is going to do for my career moving forward? Like that's got to be a bit of a scary spot. I know, not that it's the same sense, but like anytime I felt like maybe Vince and I were maybe on like rocky ground, I'm like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
Like trying to get back in those good graces again.
Yeah. Obviously a little different because you were working directly for him, but look, when Dana, and there's a lot of similarities. I think I've never met Mr. McMahon, but from what I'm told, when he is not happy, he lets you know it. So I've been on the receiving end of some text messages and phone calls. And then when things started to get a little bit sideways, it became clear, like you'll get blocked on social media. It's very clear that someone's unhappy with you in this case. And so I tried my best to repair whatever was left of the relationship. But the banning was the last time I spoke to him. Like that night when they kicked me out of the arena was the last time I spoke to him. There have been, I think, just maybe once, twice max, but one that I vividly remember where I was sort of not asked, but nudged to maybe reach out via text to try to like get the lines of communication open. This was a couple of years ago before the deal with ESPN first like kicked in, and I was already there, and it was like, all right, we're under the same umbrella again. Let's try. I never got a reply, and so I can make a very strong case that the olive branch should be reached out to me. I'm not worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He is. Yeah. I have lost money as a result of some decisions that he has made in employment. And so I swallowed my pride and said, you know what, I for the good of the company, for the good of the relationship, I strongly believe that we only have one life to live. And so why go through that life having any kind of enemy, especially something like this, where I don't think anyone did it. Like I certainly did anything wrong. So like, what's the point of all of this? Right. But it